I just ate a Glowstick.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of What Do You Know About It? What do you know about it? What do you know about it? Nothing. Ever, never. So today we have a very special guest. I feel like a talk show host right now. We have a very special guest. My brother, Jason. Jason's here. Jason is like, you've heard me talk about it like 5 million times on the internet. He's like a prodigy and brilliant, and I didn't get that genetic factor. That's just really not fair. But he plays several different instruments. Do you not? Yeah. Several different instruments. He's in several different bands right now and has multiple solo projects and has been playing the piano since I can remember. I don't know. When did you start?
Like, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. That's what I thought. Like literally in a diaper playing the piano, and I was like drooling in the corner or something, and that kind of just never stopped. So you were playing like classical pieces while I was like in the room baking. It's just doesn't really. That's unfair. You should have been locked in. I know. I want to know what did you do different, Mom? What did you do different with? What do you eat? Yeah, were you eating something? Was it like the music selection? Were you like going to live shows that were really bad? Is that why I don't have the G? I'm just like trying to figure it out. So
You ever go to fairs and stuff? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that story where I almost got smashed.
Oh, was that in Summerfest?
Yeah.
And
They quit doing that power feed.
story.
Go for it.
I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. So, like, my mom always tells this story where they took my brother to Summerfest in a baby carrier, I think. And I have no idea if they were going to go see some band. I don't know. Yeah. Some band. They were doing their thing, and everybody was drinking, and, like, I guess the crowd got so thick that people were, like, pushing into each other. I hate that feeling. I know. Where everybody's, like, rocking back and forth. And my mom was starting to get crushed with my brother and my dad. He decked somebody in the face to get my mom, like, out of there because my brother was being smashed. Like, he could not be here right now. He could be smashed into a billion pieces by the Summerfest drunk people. Maybe that's what did it.
That's what I was saying.
Maybe
Quit doing that.
watch that music video. It's because I didn't get smashed by the drunk people at Summerfest that I'm like this. Yeah. And that just seems not fair. Yeah. That's like when you're at a concert, someone's crowd surfing, you have no idea they're coming.
Yes.
Kick you in the head.
Gosh.
That was like the worst.
The time that I was at a concert, someone was crowd surfing, I dumped. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like,
I actually think that that's smart.
I don't like this.
It's the weirdest and most awkward when people go to cross a surf and nobody touches them. And they just smack the floor. Man, that is not it. It's not good. So, okay. We're going to talk about musical influences because, like, I remember... We're going to talk about this. But I remember I have, like, a definitive memory of me and my brother in another universe. And we were going down. We used to live in Racine. We were going down. There's like a farm. There was a farm, and it was abandoned. And I went in it, and it was very creepy. And Portishead was on, and like it was like the craziest. I remember to this day. It's like a core memory that's just like in my head. Portishead playing as we're going over like this road, just like laughing about. I don't know what we were laughing about and talking, and that was like core stuck in the brain. But like I used to listen to a lot of weird music like back in the day, and my brother was listening to like kind of different music than me. It's funny because I think we like flip-flopped. So for you, what do you think, like even when you were younger, when you were a teenager, what did you like listen to, and what led up to like what you listen to now?
Well, when I was a little kid, Mom would just play a lot of classical music.
Yeah, classical music.
Beethoven,
Yeah.
at all. But after that, you know, and once we got old enough, it was Motown for a while.
Motown.
Yeah, ages like 5 through 8. I loved Motown. Mom and Dad weren't about to shut me down.
Nice.
Yeah, so like Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire was like one of my favorite songs for a while.
I
Yeah,
didn't even know that.
for a while. And then Michael Jackson, I was big into Michael Jackson. So I went from there and I remember what happened. I think it was Christian rock time. It was,
Yeah, we had that phase.
we were using the Beatles template for songwriting and doing similar things.
Yeah, like PFR.
PFR. And even like right around then, like DC Talk was releasing albums. Like the Christian music production scene leveled up real hard. They're really they stand up. They stand up to the rest of the industry.
Yeah.
And that was going on for a while. And I listened to all of that stuff until I was like 15, 16. And then it was FM radio. And then I found out about all the alt rock and metal and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that launched me into metal. I was all about Metallica and Megadeth. And, you know, Rammstein.
Yeah.
All of those lovely bands. And
they are lovely. I love them.
I still enjoy their albums. So I listened to that stuff for a while, you know, 3-4 years solid. And then I got old enough. I started playing guitar. My guitar teacher turned me on to the blues. So I started listening and playing the blues a little bit more, which is a good solid base to appreciate any direction of rock and roll. So from there, and then you started showing up in my room at 3 a.m. with your headphones on. And sometimes it wasn't headphones. Sometimes you were just in there at 3 a.m. blasting the same Radiohead songs on repeat.
You're so annoying.
Through my computer speakers. I'd just be like, get out of here.
LimeWire. It's a LimeWire. He has a computer.
Because I had peer-to-peer file sharing and she needed to get her some music.
Yeah, I needed to fix at 3 a.m. Something wrong with me, man.
Pink Floyd, and then the stuff that you were listening to, the out there stuff that you were listening to, kind of like showed me that you can get the stuff that metal gets you without distortion and crash cymbals and double bass pedals for the drums. And then I was like, okay.
But it made me think of like, we went on this excursion in 2012. I got into a little bit of a trouble and I did my time. Okay. I wrote letters, but I flipped my car. Anyways. It's a whole other. Anyway, for another time. Anyways, so whatever. Was that after or before? Before or after we went on this tour around like?
It must have been after.
After. Yeah, it was after because people from that show were writing me in jail. They were so nice. These fans are so nice. Like so nice. So we went on this tour to see Radiohead and we were like going all over the place, dude. We were camping out at the front of the lines like the day before or like at like 3 a.m. so that when the doors open, we could run and get to the railing.
Repeatedly thrown off campus by the police.
Yeah. And like, there's like a homeless dude in St. Louis. Yep. I think about him all the time. His name is Squeak. That's not really his name. We named him Squeak. I think about, how you doing, Squeak? If you're out there. Watching. I hope you're watching and I hope you're good. But like we went on that adventure and that was cool. It was fun. I tell people all the time that you're a piano teacher. How long have you been doing that?
Started when I was 13.
That's nuts.
Yeah, 13. And then just teaching out of my mom's house. She would give me her some beginner students that she thought might be, you know, easy enough for a 13-year-old to teach.
Yeah.
Did that. Cut my teeth on that and started and she fed me to a music store, local music store when I was 16, I think it was. And that lasted for like a year and a half before I became briefly too irresponsible to show up to work. And then I regained myself and went back there and I've been teaching ever since. Not there, but you know.
Yeah.
Teaching full time.
That's a long time.
Lots of students.
How many students do you have right now?
140 right now.
Oh my gosh, students,
40 people a week.
And you travel to these people, right?
Yeah. It's gone up to like 75.
Students?
Yeah. 2023's early half had like 25 people up in Milwaukee and 50 people in Illinois.
Yeah, because you live in Illinois, so you commute between the two states with all of your students. That's just nuts and absolutely crazy. But I feel like it's also like really worth it to be like, I take piano lessons from Jason. I'm just not sure how you're not like famous yet, just because you do so many things and wear so many hats and make your own music. And I feel like you're up there with like the Johnny Greenwoods of the world. You could definitely be doing that.
Well,
Try harder. I'm just kidding. You could definitely be doing that. You could be doing that. I feel like
I'm doing it, just not as many people are listening.
yeah.
Well, every time you release something and like Nana, she'll always like put it on like right away. Like she loves it. But I don't ever really comment about the music that she plays, like if it's instrumental, because I just don't really listen to music that's only instruments that often. But every time, without fail, I'm like, Nana, what is that song? And she's like, it's Jason's. I'm like, I knew it. Every time.
Dude, I was in the car the other day listening to the Where's the Beef song, like do 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 do, like the Where's the Beef, and I'm like, yeah. Okay, can we talk about that name and like how that name got adapted? Can we please talk about that?
So good.
Oh my
Yes.
Beef, yes.
You're just talking about beef.
it's pretty boring. When I was
No, it's not.
a teenager, I don't know, like maybe even like 13, like really young, I was playing at board games with some friends, and there were like 3 or 4 Jasons there. My name's Jason, so I was like, well, we're gonna have to find a way to like differentiate. And I don't even think my last initial was enough, so I was like, just call me Beef. And everybody loved it so much that it stuck real hard. And then when I started, like, I kind of like got a whole new social circle of like 6, 7, 8 years ago, and those people were connected to friends of mine from when I was a teenager. So somebody let it out that was my nickname. Oh, it was a video game handle too. I played Dance Dance Revolution. I have traveled around the whole Midwest and played in tournaments.
Champion.
Yeah. So there are several people. There's a good number of people that know me as Beef from that. So then my friends as an adult insisted on calling me that. A lot of people just don't know what my name is. They are not interested because Beef is way more fun to call me.
Beef is it?
And I was like, all right, well, then if I'm going to choose an artist profile name for electronic music anyways, I may as well use that. Since those people are the ones who kind of introduced me into the electronic dance music scene.
Which is like primarily, is that when you're like, you're dating primarily?
Yeah,
right now?
that's my current thing. That's kind of what I do.
And you go to like how many years in a row you've gone to Electric Forest now?
Since 18. So
holy crap,
7 years.
I did not
There were
know
a couple
that.
years they didn't do it because of the lockdown situation.
COVID.
And then 1 year I couldn't go because I had surgery. You can't be dancing around after that. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you're the winner already, yeah. You're gonna be like, that you can't. That was that too.
Worried about stitches breaking stuff.
Whatever. You're just holding your nose. You're like blowing.
I just ate a Glowstick.
Anyways, so let's talk about your projects, because you have many.
I have Beef, which is spelled B33F.
Yeah, it is.
That's electronic music. I don't know what genre I'm going to settle on, so I'm mixing them all into the same song sometimes. But I'm slowly uploading stuff to the internet and building that profile. Yeah, I have socials. I have a YouTube page and Spotify and all that business. I have piano stuff. I compose piano compositions, short form compositions. None of them go longer than like 4 or 5 minutes. And I'm getting those onto a profile, which is just my name, just Jason McNeill. That's just to play gigs around town. Beef is more like lofty goals. I would like to actually tour with that eventually.
That'd be awesome.
Once I'm good to keep the energy level at appropriate levels in the club for hours.
In the clear.
Oh, yeah.
We're all friends.
What else do I have going on? I'm in a rock band called Indigo Can. We play around Southeast Wisconsin a lot. We do covers and originals. Music from all eras. It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, we mash up. We mash up like there's one where it's the Doobie Brothers, followed by the X-Files theme, followed by Snoop, followed by it gets weird. Well,
Is it done right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Other than that, I'm in there's a little band called Mikey and the Fun Guys that is an offshoot of an offshoot of an offshoot of another band that was big in the area years back. It's a jam band, kind of like Fish.
Cool.
And then there's like little groups that don't have anything official, just groups of all of these musicians, because I know a ton of musicians now. And everybody wants to get together and do stuff all the time. So
Is that easy to do with 70 silly students?
no, it has to happen in the wee hours of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was
yeah,
gonna
that's
shoot
where I'm going.
You drink a lot of Red
No,
Bull?
I know.
Yeah.
I can't drink Red Bull. That gives me really big wings, I think.
We're looking for some sponsorship.
Yeah, well, it's a Red Bull sponsorship.
Hit us up.
We need wings.
I didn't say I can't drink
Big.
that.
I also think Red Bull tastes disgusting. I feel like I'm pretty good with caffeine. Like I never have a reaction. It never makes me feel more alert. I'm fine until I get a panic attack.
Our mom, your nana, she used to get us cappuccino blasts when we so I thought, like, I had no problem drinking these cappuccino blasts. And I was picking up the kids from school. I drank this cappuccino blast and I drank it fast. It was good. I was thirsty. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I must have gotten out of the parent pickup line car. I walked around my car like 16 times. I was like, I'm dying. I'm dying. People probably thought I was on drugs, like, for real. They're really like, what is wrong with
She's
her?
just on that cappuccino.
Like, a whole lot going on there.
It's okay.
Do you feel like there's any like monumental moment in your childhood and or your adulthood that it's like shaped your like artistic mind?
It's just the points when I was introduced to the things that would influence me a lot. I think, the point when I was a lot of the music in me, I think anyways, comes from mom and dad. My mom and dad being overly, enthusiastic and just pouring the love down on me whenever I would do something that was, good.
Like I feel like you and Lauren have like this natural musical gift. Lauren is my sister. Hello.
Okay.
And like my girls, like Serena and Fallon, also have like this natural God-given, like just musical gift.
I have a lot of students that they quit right away because their parents want them to be. They tell me their kid is a prodigy, and like they can read so well, or then they can play by ear like either, and then they don't get it in like the first like month or so, and then they pull their.
It's just not for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, some kids have to be chord chart readers or just playing by ear, and
Yeah.
it's all about feeling good in lessons too. When you're a kid, you have the mind to do whatever you want, but you are only going to succeed in the things that you feel good about doing. That's why one of the biggest moments for me is being 4 years old and copying Heart and Soul and playing by ear.
Being 4 years old.
Everybody freaks out about. I remember that. That's like one of my earliest memories.
So is there ever a time where you're like, do you love what you do as far as like the teaching goes? You always do. Do you don't ever feel like burnt out or tired?
Oh no, I do feel very tired sometimes. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean I don't love it though.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling. It's very meaningful. I never have to like wonder if my efforts are going to anything worthwhile. Yeah, preferably I'll be touring the nation soon as a wildly successful half DJ, half not a DJ.
He will be. You heard it here first. Sponsorship. Sponsor. Give me a sponsor.
Red Bull sponsor beef.
Yeah, Red Bull.
Give him wings.
Red Bull gives you beef.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have this memory of me and my brother and our friend. Well, he's not even our friend. Now I don't know. Our friend Chris, like just sitting in actually Serena's dad's house and like making music on the pad. They were making music on the pad, but I wish I had a copy of it so bad because it was like hilarious just playing like on this pad and making out music. And then somehow the night ended with like California Dreaming over and over
As
and
you,
over.
you're noticing a theme. You hang out with Evie here, you got to get a lot of repeated songs. A lot of songs that you like to repeat.
I made for my bio class in my junior or senior year of high school. I had to make a rap about photosynthesis, and I used one of his beats from high school.
Your dad's?
Photosynthesis is not a joke! I think it's time to wrap this all up.
It was really good.
Does he still play music?
Yeah, we've got it. Do we have a weird of the week? This is not weird. This is just like, kind of like dorky. I re-entered my Minecraft phase because I got very ill, and I don't get to play video games unless I'm very ill because I'm just busy. I don't have time for it. And I was strip mining, which is where you just dig down and to the side and down to the side instead of going into like a cave or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then I don't know if this is an update or if my screen was bugging because my laptop sounds like a helicopter when I play that game. But all of my, like, I set a bunch of torches on the side of the wall and all of them were like going dark and then coming back up. And I've never seen that before. I was like, what the frick? So I paused the game, I Googled like, hello, what is this? And it was like, you need to check it like your screen, like make sure your screen is okay. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's just my screen. And then I heard a horrible like whooshing sound, like some like horrifying noises. I was like, okay, so there's something nearby. So yeah, I was like, there's something nearby. What is this? And I went into spectator mode, like went over to the right or whatever, and there's this very obnoxious creature that's like, and it's like whooshing noises and it's like, it's so annoying. So I tried to kill it, but apparently you're not supposed to kill it. You're supposed to avoid it. So I sat there for 2 minutes straight, like just like hitting it, and eventually it died. And I was like, yes, like thank goodness now I can go back to. And then another one was like, and I was like, I hate this game. This is so annoying. And I'm going to defeat the dragon, so stay tuned to see how that goes. You do it. But I will not be visiting that part of the map anymore because that creature is annoying.
Okay, so my weird of the week is, and we're just bluntly honest here, or I am anyways. If you know me, you probably already know that. So, I'm on sad boy meds, right? And my dosage was upped. And I just had a moment where I was like, I'm really happy. I think I'm gonna go to the pet store. And so I did. And there's this chameleon sitting in this thing, and I was like, look at this chameleon. And I had my daughter with me, and she's like, oh my gosh. And so I'm like, yeah, chameleons. Girl. And so all of a sudden, like, I started to get overwhelmed with myself. Like, I was really happy. There's a lot of dopamine going on. And I'm like, wow, this is getting really expensive. Like, all this stuff was like getting put in my cart by the employee who was so enthusiastic. Like, you need this and this. And I was like, okay. Like, as more things were piling into my cart, I could start to feel like I might need a clot in a minute. Really bad. So, like, we were at this point where the chameleon was in the box up at the register. I'm like, I can't go back. It's too late. Yeah. And he's like, we had to name him. We didn't name him in the store. I can't take back something that I've named or be like, I can't do this. Like, so I'm like waiting for the total. And it's not because I don't want the chameleon. It's because of how much stuff was in my cart. And I was like, I'm starting to sweat. Little sweat beads. And she tells me the total. And she's like signed me up for something on an app. I'm like, what are you doing? And that charged me $10. And I was like, what's happening? It was a lot. And then she's like, and that will save you $80. And now the total is $516.24. Oh, we're not happy anymore. And so me and the chameleon, we went home and we set up the terrarium, and he's very cute. And we've renamed him 14 times, but in store his name was Pasquale, which sounds very sophisticated. I had to sell some stuff to make up for buying Pasquale. But I love him. He's a part of our family now. He's a cutie. He eats a lot of crickets a day. So that's my weird of the week. Stay on your meds. So what you got?
Okay, so this is maybe a little bit further back than a week out, but setting up for a show and like for the rock band show, and I sometimes get like DJ. I get like control of the playlist, whatever's coming through the PA, I'll put it on, and I put on some some club stuff. I'll put on some house music or something. So I put on a Chris Lake song, and this song has it was in downtown Racine that we were playing, and the weather was really nice, and there were like birds. But I hadn't heard any birds that whole day. But in this track, there were some birds.
Oh.
But early in the track, not late in the track. And then there were birds actually there overhead. But they sounded just like the birds that start in the track.
That's too much birds.
Yeah, and me and the guitar player just looking at each other like, oh, that was interesting. The environment became part of the song, and it really mashed right in.
Kind of was. It was the universe.
That's lovely.
That's crazy when things like that happen. Actually, that freaks me out.
I'm terrified of birds in general, so that would have kind of been it.
Enough of you.
I don't go into like the aviaries. I know they're gonna poop on me. Like I don't like it when I see like a flock of them like going.
The bird man's not gonna hurt you.
Oh, I don't like it. It's scary. I don't know why they're all grouping up, what they're about to do. They're about to pull up on somebody. Like I know that they have malicious intent.
They might. Can you tell me what the difference between like what you do as far as DJing goes, and like what somebody who just plugs something into like a laptop?
Yeah. So I'm not DJing. That's the difference. I'm being just a solo artist. I have a lot of keyboards. They're all linked up to a laptop computer. Also, I have a controller that controls clips. So I can record a clip with one of my keyboards, which is, linked up to one of the sounds in my computer. So whatever, it could be anything. And then I record that clip, step on my pedal, it captures it, and then I copy it into a bunch of different slots. And I do that with all sorts of different sounds. And before you know it, I've got a whole song built up, and then I control how the song flows.
So when you play it live, because I've seen like the videos that you post. When you play it live, how many different things are you having to control?
Every song has at once. Every song has like up to 15, 20 things happening at the same time sometimes. And I have to choose a batch of one of those things. And that batch could have, up to 6 to 10 things all spread across the keyboard that I control with the keyboard in different spots. I have to memorize where they are. And the difference between me and a DJ is the DJ does not have to play all the sounds that they're making. I'm generating all the sounds, stacking them up into music. Whereas if you're a DJ, you just, you have that track.
Right, and you're playing other people's music.
You're playing other people's music. For the most part, you can play your own music too if you want, if you're also a producer. But your job as DJ is to read the room and get the vibe and see if everybody's digging what you're playing and dancing. And your job is to keep them dancing. And to do that, you have to skillfully choose your next tracks and transition into them in an exciting way. Yeah. For me, I have to do the transitions, but I really script my shows. I don't have 500 songs to choose from. I have the 15 songs that I prepared for that night. Right. And they're probably not going to be out of order. So that's where the main difference lies.
So you go for like a slot list.
I have a set list like a rock band would. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm like an electronic rock band, basically, with a one-man electronic rock band. That's kind of how I see it. Awesome. What I want to do is incorporate a turntable into it, and I can DJ too, switch off.
That'd be insane. It's kind of like Tom York does that a little bit, right?
Yeah, if you could imagine him like having his DJ rig during a Radiohead show, and then everybody just leaves and he just songs.
Everything. Yeah, I think that would be amazing actually, because you have so many different hats that you're wearing while you're playing this music, and it just blows my mind. And then I always listen to people be like, "Oh, I'm like a DJ," and I'm like, "Yeah." And I think about like you and what you do, and I'm like, no disrespect to DJing, but I'm like, dang, like that's nuts. Like, that's some crazy nuts stuff.
It's hard to execute the actual music part, but like DJ skill set includes crowd work.
Yeah,
that's a huge part of it. And I don't have that crowd work because my whole life was spent specializing in an instrument. All I have to do is execute the playing of the instrument, and everybody is floored by that. I didn't have to look them in the eyes and get them like hyped to hear what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
I don't have to sell anything.
Yeah.
Now I do. Now it's part of the thing. And even if the music is so good that I don't have to do that, there's no such thing as that. You have to do it anyways. It's expected of you.
Yeah.
Be good at it.
Do you get like drunk people at clubs that come up to you and they're like, "Can you play this?"
No, because they realize that I'm playing it. So the approach is completely different. Okay. And plus, like, what am I gonna play? It's not like Freebird, they're not gonna request Freebird.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. Play Sandstorm. I have an Avicii tune that I'm gonna play. I'm starting to get into covers, but I have to like sound design the other artist's entire song by myself. Like they're not putting their sounds out there for me to just take.
Yeah, that's
So, and that's really fun though. I enjoy it.
When is your next show?
April 19th at the Port, the aforementioned punk rock bar.
In
It's a
Kenosha.
little tiny, but it's kind of great. It's part of the charm.
Yeah.
In Kenosha.
In Kenosha. The Fort.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you're doing that. I would love to go to that. You should go to that.
You should go to that. Brenda?
He does.
You don't have to pay nothing.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay nothing.
Yeah.
Why aren't you going to show up?
Yeah.
It's like rude. Like,
Stop being.
Yeah.
Stop like saying you can't. Like stop saying you can't. You can.
That's just mindset.
It's a year.
It's gonna go.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody likes it.
No one likes a quitter.
Who likes a quitter?
Is there like I don't know. Like for me, for my art form, I'm like inspired by a bunch of different things, music included. Do other things also inspire you, or is it only just like musically related things that inspire you?
I enjoy visual art quite a bit. I just don't understand it nearly as much, so I can't explain why I like what I like. But there are a lot of paintings that I enjoy quite a bit. My fiance is a painter. She's a painter and a writer, so I have the walls covered in her paintings. I appreciate that quite a bit. I find that inspiring. I get inspired a lot by weather. When the seasons change, I start to write. Like
So do I.
songs start coming out of me. And yeah, that's it. Whenever there's crazy weather stuff, I need to go into it.
Yeah.
Walk into the middle of it.
Yeah. I feel the same way, just in a different thing. Like when it starts snowing, I'm like, oh, I can't. Or when it's raining, I'm
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah, we
Like-
ain't got no good snow.
I know. That makes me really sad. Like if there's a good storm and the clouds are just like rolling in and they're heavy, you know it's gonna be like a beautiful sunset. That's like so exciting and so inspirational. Like I just want to go stand out there. So we were watching this Bob Dylan movie, and he was just writing. He was like ruining relationships, obviously doing typical rock star things with you yourself. But I just felt like, him constantly writing because he had this idea. He had like a typewriter he was taking with him everywhere, to like write lyrics. And I thought like, yeah, that's like somebody who's like serious about, I got to get it out now, and like I'm gonna forget this if I don't.
Yeah, it's like a dream. It's like trying to remember a dream.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I think that's the same with like writing too. When you have an idea with writing and you start flowing and you just start going, it's the same thing. And with photo projects, for me, it's like the same thing too. If I get an idea, and I have a lot of ideas, and they're weird. You've seen some of them, but like I get like super weird ideas, and I'm like, I got to do this right now. Sometimes it doesn't turn out like the way that I think it's going to.
Yeah.
And that's like super frustrating.
But then it can be great. It ends up good.
And if it ends up good, it's amazing, yeah. But sometimes, like, I don't know if this ever happens to you, but sometimes it just doesn't turn out how I saw it.
I had this exact conversation last night. I called Jimmy and I was like very, very upset. And I was like, you're not going to understand what I'm saying to you right now. But I need to tell you two things. Number one, I can't write songs and they suck and I hate them. And I'm not being self-deprecating. I know they're bad and I can't fix it. It's not what I want it to be. It sucks. And then I was like, I can't draw people. He was like, you can draw. I've seen you draw people. I'm like, but they don't look the way that I need them to look, and they don't feel the way that I need them to feel. And I hate it. It's like the most frustrating thing in the entire world for me is when I have an idea and there's something that I need to express and it will not turn out the way that I want it to ever.
I think it's like super important when you're an artist of any sort that you have somebody that's like backing you and your crazy ideas and like your writing, and like you said you hang all of her art on the walls and stuff. I think it's super important to have people behind you that are like, oh yeah, you can do this, and even if they don't understand like your medium or like what you're doing, it's so important to have somebody that's in your corner.
You need both. You need like an angel and a demon. You need somebody who's gonna pump you up and make you feel awesome about yourself, and then you need somebody who's gonna be like pushing you to be better.
You're right.
But if you only have one or the other, it might not turn out so well for you.
So do you find that like pain or happiness, or like you feel like those play into your music? Yeah.
Constant. It builds up until it's gotta come out, and then I write some music.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound oftentimes like what the feeling was which is weird.
Yeah.
So what you were saying earlier about not being able to make it exactly right, I often miss, oftentimes, and I think it's a bonus. It's a good thing because now I can come at my original idea again.
Sure.
I got a free song from trying to hit a vision that I missed.
Yeah.
And I might not even like want to hit that vision anymore because I'm so happy with what I got from missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get into a fight with somebody and then like, I don't know what to do with myself. And then something happy comes out, but it's all the energy got out. It just took that form. So I think that like for me, it's like it's emotional noise and the noise just needs to come out.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to come out in the shape of what it initially felt like.
When is something that you make good enough to put out? What is like the standard in which you're not going to throw it away or scrap it for later?
If I can recognize that there's good value in it, I don't know. That's a good question. It's hard. It's hard to tell. I talked to my bandmates about this because when, like what you were saying earlier about not feeling good about it, feeling that it's bad, I expressed that to my bandmates and they're like, no, we don't. You're not allowed to feel bad about it. We'll tell you if it's good enough. Bring your ideas here before you throw them away. And I hate that. So I can, trust me, I'll tell you if it's bad or good. I know.
Yeah.
You don't have to weigh in. So I don't know exactly what
Do you go through, when you don't like something, do you go through the whole process of still making it or do you ever just stop?
I do now. That's something that I changed over the past couple of years because I've talked to a lot of people that aren't necessarily artists all the time that read me the riot act about how I should never abandon an idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll like write this pop country sounding song and not throw it away because it disgusts me. And sure enough, I come up with some decent song ideas that will not get played by my current band, and I'll probably have to like reapproach them in order to make myself feel good about them, unless I go through a bluegrass phase.
I'll play this, but I think like our childhood was filled with like a lot of art and a lot of cool things. When I think back on it, like we did a lot of museums and we did a lot of. There was always music playing. There's always music playing. There's always piano students. I can still hear the music from mom's piano students, like because it's the same books.
Yeah.
So playing the same thing like over and over and over and over. So I can still hear that. It's kind of like it's kind of a cool way to grow up. I don't know. You remember like mom and dad's rock band in the basement and like sitting down there while they were playing that super loud, and I'd just be down there blowing my eardrums like yeah. And I just for some reason I remember there being cords down there like being wet, and they're like, you have to have socks on. You remember that?
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't want to have socks on. And like, do you remember Dad's blue mask? What the heck did you call that thing? It had googly eyes and blue hair. You don't remember that thing?
Yes, I do now.
Oh my god. And mom used to get so mad. She was like, what doing to you?
Why do you have that?
I don't know. She thought it was funny. Or she, like later on in life, I think it's funny, but mom used to get so mad. She's like, I put that away. That's hilarious. All right. So is there anything that you want to say to the people out there who are listening right now to this podcast and you?
Follow your dreams.
Follow your
Stay in
dreams.
school.
You should do that.
Avoid high fructose corn syrup.
Yes. Yes. And MSG.
Fight the microplastics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use a wooden cutting board when you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out for splinters.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure it's
And soak it if you get it. Well, thank you for coming to our session of What Do You Know About It? Did you know a little bit more about it? What do you know about it?
What do you know about it?
Go to the show.
Go to the show.
Bye.